What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to make our picks for Week 3 of the college football season. Welcome into 365 Sports. We've got you covered 24/7 for all of the college sports, specifically college football content. As we jump into the college football season, you're going to want to subscribe. We want you here. We want you along with us. So please consider hitting the subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, worth noting, the Hard Count, this show, everything that we do on this show specific to the board, to picks, to hot topics, that's going to be moving. So we'll give you more information as that comes out. No disclosed date, no disclosed title for the channel or anything like that. Just want to throw this your way. We're going to be moving. Want you along with us. Before we move, though, we got Week 3 of college football season, y'all. And a lot of great games in the docket. A lot of people will say, oh, it's a sleepy slate. There's not a lot going on. You have a couple big matchups, couple notable games, but nothing really to look at here. They would be wrong, because if you remember, those same people that said this week is sleepy said that last week is sleepy. And last week was a lot of things, but sleepy was not one of them. So without further ado, we're going to break down 5 of these games and just tell you who we think is winning the game and why. First off, Bama and Florida. Okay, we got Bama favored by 14.5. Number 1 ranked Alabama, number 11 Gators. And this one to me comes down to, what does Florida have offensively? Because you might have a solid product offensively, but when it comes to playing against the Crimson Tide, that product looks a little bit different. And so you're going to have to score points with this Alabama team. Like, you're going to have to get into a track meet and find a way to score with them, because you're not stopping Bryce Young. You're not stopping that offensive line of Alabama. You're going to have to find a way to keep pace. So for me, who's your quarterback at Florida? Is it Anthony Richardson? Is it Emory Jones? A lot of people are siding with AR-15 right now. That's kind of the flavor of the month, kind of the flavor of the week. Does he give you a better chance through the air? I don't know. That's for Dan Mullen to decide. I'm thankful I don't have to make that decision. I get to sit here in this comfy chair and just talk about the fact that's a hard decision to make. My pick is Alabama, for the simple fact they have too much talent. Nick Saban is on these guys. He's been talking about it last week before they played Mercer. He's like, hey, this team is soft. He didn't say it like that, but he didn't even say that specifically. He just said, we let a lot of things affect us. And he sort of threw the gauntlet down and challenged his team. And if you know anything about Alabama and Nick Saban, when he is at his most uncomfortable is when his teams start to play really well. Bottom line, Bama, they're probably going to win by 14.5, meaning I would take Bama minus 14.5. I'm rolling with Bama. I'm rolling with the Tide. Next, you got number 22 Auburn going into Happy Valley to play number 10 Penn State. College game day is going to be there. I'm sure it'll be a crazy crowd. It's the whiteout conditions, which is one of the best things in all of college football, one of the coolest scenes in college football. Penn State's favored by 6 in this game. And I'm scratching my head a little bit as to why, because I saw that first game against Wisconsin. They did not look like a good ball club. Sean Clifford did not look consistent. The defense was getting pounded on. They made some turnovers. They forced some turnovers, I should say, against Wisconsin, which is great. But bottom line, Wisconsin dominated that game start to finish. And that's really the only sample size we have on Penn State in terms of a reliable opponent. And so I'm not so sold on Penn State. For Auburn, the flip side is you have really no reliable sample size. All you have is what you think you know about Bo Nix, what you think you know about Tank Bigsby. A lot of palms up reactions to what we know about Auburn right now. And so they're going on the road, again, into whiteout conditions, which is a really tough place to play. If you think that doesn't matter, you're extremely wrong, because the home field advantage that you have in Happy Valley is crucial to this game. For me, it comes down to, can you stop the running game if you're Penn State? Because you showed me a few weeks ago against Wisconsin, you couldn't do that. You made some big plays on offense. You had some shot plays that were breakdowns in the secondary against Wisconsin. Auburn's not going to do that. Auburn's personnel on the back end is a lot better than what you saw against Wisconsin. So this could be a rock fight. This could be a grudge match. I don't see it that way. I think Auburn's going to come in there and assert their will against Penn State. I think they're going to be able to run the ball at will. I think they're going to be able to sort of hide Bo Nix, if that makes sense. They're going to be able to utilize him just enough to win this game. I don't think this game comes down to Bo Nix. This game comes down to Tank Bigsby and what that offensive line does for Auburn. I think they'll be able to have their way up front with Penn State, and I don't think that Penn State's going to be able to keep pace, because they really should have lost that game to Wisconsin. If you were watching that game, Wisconsin gave that game away and tried to do it on more than one occasion. And so for that reason, I like Auburn. Upset special if you count, +6 and upset special. I'm rolling with the Tigers there. I love this game we got. We got number 19, Arizona State, at 23, BYU. BYU obviously going to join the Big 12 here in just a little bit. So for some Big 12 fans, you might be watching this game a little closer than you would originally before that news broke. Arizona State's favored by 3.5. But I love the quarterback for BYU. I love Jaron Hall. I picked against them a week ago before they played Utah. Got that wrong. Got that very wrong. And that's changed my tune a ton on BYU. Before that, they'd beat an Arizona team who's good, not great. And they just took a Utah team to the woodshed, who we all thought before the season started was going to be your Pac-12 champ. They still could be. But BYU really showed out in that game and showed me a lot of what they have defensively as well as what they have on offense. So to me, similar to last week, can Jaron Hall create? Is Jaron Hall going to be a guy that can beat you through the air, but really more so destroy you on the ground with his legs? He had about 8 carries for 92 yards a week ago against a good Utah team. Throwing the ball, he left some to be desired. I think it was 18 for 30, so not a great completion percentage, but it was a wet game. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up to a wet ball. I like BYU in this game. Arizona State's played 2 pretty subpar teams. They beat UNLV, which is the best opponent so far on their schedule. I don't think they know what they're getting with BYU this week. BYU's a physical team, really gritty. They're going to give Algier the rock a lot. For that reason, I love BYU in this game. I don't understand why Arizona State's favored by 3.5. If you're a betting man, bet BYU, make yourself some money. We got Virginia Tech, number 15 Virginia Tech, going into Morgantown to play West Virginia. West Virginia -3. This is another head scratcher to me. If you saw the very first game of the season with North Carolina and Virginia Tech, you're definitely siding with Virginia Tech on this one. West Virginia had a good showing last week, but if you saw them against Maryland, Jarrett Doege's not your answer there. You have a lot of great things on defense. You even have some weapons on offense, but Jarrett Doege is running the show for you, which is bad news if you're West Virginia. I get it's at home. Maybe that helps. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe the defense can carry you and be opportunistic. But for Virginia Tech, Braxton Burmeister's that guy. And that defense is for real. You lost your tight end, which is really tough. He's a phenomenal playmaker for you, one of the best in all of college football. But Virginia Tech is winning this game, folks. So again, if you're a betting man, make some more money. You got West Virginia -3 right now. Take Va-Tech +3. Take Va-Tech money line. You're bathing in it. I love Virginia Tech. I think West Virginia is going to be a team that disappoints us down the road in Big 12 play. Again, I'm out on Jarrett Doege. I'm sorry. I just am. Another quarterback I'm out on, Spencer Sanders in Oklahoma State at Boise State. Boise State -3.5. This one is pretty cut and dry to me. Spencer Sanders has proven multiple times that he is not someone you can lean on if you're Oklahoma State. He had a lot of great players around him a year ago with Chuba Hubbard, Tylan Wallace, Dylan Stoner. He still has some pieces around him, but we saw last week against a lesser opponent in Missouri State, you don't have the horses. You don't have the right guy running the show right now for you if you're Oklahoma State. And I think that's going to be exposed even more so in this game. You go on the road to play a good team like Boise State. It's not even so much about Boise State to me in this game as much as it is about Spencer Sanders and Oklahoma State. I think Spencer Sanders is going to virtually give this game away. And so if you're Mike Gundy, you got to be looking at Shane Illingworth right now, because I think he's the better option for your football team at quarterback. I know Spencer Sanders had the COVID late start, missed the first game because of COVID, and got into this late game last week and maybe looked a little shaky, looked a little rusty. But I'm telling you, you got real problems there if you're Oklahoma State. Maybe I'm getting trigger happy. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. But Spencer Sanders isn't the guy you're going to win a lot of football games with this season. You can't ask him to be the playmaker for you if you're Oklahoma State and expect to win the games you want to win this year. So for that reason, Boise State -3.5. Take -3.5. I'd take this game, honestly, at -7.5 Boise State. I think they roll in this one. I think they roll at home. A lot of good picks for this week. If they're telling you it's a sleepy slate, they are very much mistaken, because this is a great week for college football. I think we see quite a few upsets, quote unquote. More so the team that's not favored winning. I don't know if it's upsets when it's -3.5, -3. Again, Bama's going to roll. It's Bama and everybody else right now. And I hate to say that, but that's just the world we find ourselves in when it comes to the college football landscape. That's it for us here at the Hard Count. Channel is staying the same. This show is moving to a different channel. We will keep you up to date with that as that formulates and becomes a reality. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.